The sun beat down on Wagadoo, casting the bustling streets in shades of gold and dust. President Ibrahim Troror emerged from a simple school, his face still warmed by the children's laughter from his surprise visit. His convoy waited nearby, sleek cars shimmering in the afternoon light, ready to carry him back to the burdens of leadership. Yet as he neared the lead vehicle, a figure on the roadside brought him to a sudden halt. Slouched against a sun-bleached wall sat a man, a rusted tin cup at his feet. His clothes were little more than rags, his face carved with a weariness that spoke of years of loss. The stream of passersby parted around him like water around a stone, their eyes averted, their steps hurried. Ibrahim stood frozen. Something in the man's stooped posture, the slight tilt of his head, tugged at a memory. "Wait here," he instructed his security team, his tone sharp enough to cut off any objection. He moved forward cautiously, his polished shoes stirring little puffs of dust. The man glanced up, squinting in the sun, his eyes hollow but flashing with a hint of recognition. "Ibrahim." The voice was a dry whisper, almost lost in the city's hum. Ibrahim's heart stuttered. "Musa." He crouched, studying the man's face. It was him. Musa, his old-school friend, the one who'd shared worn-out textbooks, who'd faced down older boys when Ibrahim was too small to fight. But this man was a faded echo of that vibrant boy, his spirit buried under layers of hardship. "It's you," Ibrahim said, his own voice thick. Musa tried to rise, his legs unsteady, his hands gripping the wall for support. "It's really you," he murmured, as if to himself. Ibrahim took his shoulder, steadying him. "What happened to you, brother?" Musa's eyes glistened. He wiped a tear away with a grimy hand. "It's a long story. Not one I ever thought I'd tell you. Not like this." Ibrahim's jaw tightened. "Come with me. We'll talk." Musa looked down at his bare, calloused feet, shame flickering across his features. "I can't. I'm not fit for your world." Ibrahim's gaze was soft, but his tone was firm. "You're my friend. That's the only world that matters." Shortly after, Musa found himself in the presidential residence, a place of polished floors and cool air that felt like another planet compared to the scorching pavement he'd known. A staff member had shown him to a bathroom where warm water and soap washed away months of grime. Clean clothes, simple but soft, replaced his tattered ones. He sat at a table spread with steaming rice, spicy stew, and fresh mangoes, eating slowly, as if the meal might disappear. Ibrahim watched him, pouring 2 glasses of tamarind juice and sliding one across the table. "Now," he said gently, "tell me everything." Musa stared at the glass, his finger tracing its rim. "It started 4 years ago," he began, his voice low. He had been a school principal in Bobo de Lasso, respected and proud. He'd saved enough to build a small house, married a woman named Stella, and dreamed of a quiet, happy life. "At first, it was good," he said. She smiled. We laughed. But then she changed. Always distracted, always angry. I thought it was me." His voice cracked. "But one day I came home early. Found her with him. In our bed." Ibrahim leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "What did you do?" "I walked away," Musa whispered, his voice barely audible. "I couldn't speak, couldn't fight. I just left." Stella never apologized. Instead, she'd screamed at him, told him she loved the other man, and demanded he leave the house he'd built with his own savings. "She took me to court," Musa continued, a bitter edge entering his tone. "She lied. Said she paid for everything. Forged papers. The judge believed her. I lost the house, my savings, everything." Ibrahim's fist clenched. "And your job?" "Gone," Musa said. "The court battles drained me. I couldn't keep up appearances. They let me go. I stayed with a friend for a while, but shame. It's heavy, Ibrahim. I couldn't stay. I ended up on the streets, begging, eating scraps when I could. Every night I saw her face, laughing with him. I stopped being Musa. I was just nothing." Tears streamed down his cheeks, and he didn't try to stop them. "I wanted it to end, Ibrahim. I wanted to disappear." Ibrahim stood, his chair scraping softly on the floor. He walked to Musa's side and placed a hand on his shoulder. "You didn't deserve this. But your story isn't over. I promise you that." Musa looked up, his eyes searching Ibrahim's face. "You still call me your friend, after seeing me like this?" Ibrahim smiled, a quiet, steady warmth in his gaze. Musa, you never stopped being my friend. That night, Musa slept in a soft bed, his first real rest in years. Meanwhile, Ibrahim sat in his office, the weight of Musa's story heavy on his chest. He remembered their school days, Musa slipping him half a loaf of bread when he had none, Musa standing tall against older boys who teased Ibrahim for his patched clothes. He believed in me, Ibrahim murmured to himself. Now it's my turn. The next morning, Musa woke from the deepest sleep he'd known in years. The gentle whir of a ceiling fan mixed with the soft chirping of birds outside. The smell of warm porridge, spiced with cinnamon, and the rich scent of fresh coffee coaxed him awake. He blinked, disoriented. The plush mattress under him was a stark contrast to the hard pavement. For a moment he thought it a dream, but the clean cotton sheets and the soft sunlight through the curtains confirmed it was real. A quiet knock came at the door. A young staff member entered, her smile warm, carrying a tray with a steaming bowl, a small coffee pot, and a plate of sliced mangoes. "Good morning, sir," she said, her voice respectful, as if addressing a man who hadn't been invisible on the streets just the day before. Another soft tap came at the door. "Come in," he called. Ibrahim entered, dressed in a crisp white shirt with his sleeves rolled up. He carried a calm authority that filled the room, a reminder of the boy who'd become a leader, yet still held the warmth of their old friendship. They walked out into the residence's garden, where the morning air was cool and carried the scent of jasmine and dew-damp grass. Bougainvillea spilled over a low wall, its pink and purple blooms catching the light, and a small fountain bubbled nearby, its rhythm steady and soothing. Ibrahim gestured to a wooden bench, and they sat at it. The city's distant noise was a faint backdrop. "Musa," Ibrahim began, his voice low and heavy. "Your story broke me." His usually steady eyes held a raw glint. "Anger, perhaps, or sorrow. To see you like that on the street after all we shared. It's not right. No one should fall so far, especially not you." Musa shifted, his gaze falling to his calloused hands. "I didn't mean to burden you," he murmured, shame colouring his words. Ibrahim shook his head, his expression firm. "You didn't burden me. You showed me truth, and truth demands action." Musa frowned, uncertainty on his face. "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice tentative, afraid to hope. Ibrahim leaned in, his hands clasped, his gaze unwavering. "I mean you're not staying in that past. You were my brother when we were boys, sharing books, shielding me from trouble, pushing me to dream bigger. You didn't give up on me then, and I'm not giving up on you now. I've seen what you can do when you have a chance, and I'm giving you that chance." Musa's heart beat faster, a mix of fear and anticipation stirring within him. He wanted to ask more, to understand this promise, but the quiet certainty in Ibrahim's eyes silenced his doubts. "I've made arrangements," Ibrahim said. "First, you'll see a doctor today. Then there's somewhere I want to take you." By noon, Musa had been examined, given vitamins, and had his hair trimmed. The mirror now reflected a man he scarcely recognized, not the broken figure from the streets, but someone with a faint spark returning to his eyes. Ibrahim drove him to a quiet neighborhood on the edge of the city, stopping before a small house with white walls and a tidy garden full of hibiscus flowers. Musa stared. "It's beautiful. Whose is it?" "Yours," Ibrahim said, a grin spreading across his face. Musa's breath caught. "Ibrahim, no. This is too much." Ibrahim pressed a set of keys into his hand. "It's paid for. No one can take it from you. And there's more." Musa's eyes widened. "More?" Ibrahim nodded. "I've set up a bookshop for you next to a secondary school." New chat. Message DeepSeek.